Let's go. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be bringing you guys another episode of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater. And in this episode of Full Day of Going to the Movie Theater, I am going to be watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the third film in the Sonic the Hedgehog film series. So, for those of you guys who don't know, this is my most highly anticipated movie to watch for 2024. So for those of you guys who don't know this about me, ever since I was a little kid, I always loved Sonic the Hedgehog. I remember playing my first Sonic video game. It was Sonic Advance 2. It was for the Game Boy Advance. And then after that, I played other several Sonic the Hedgehog video games for obviously the GameCube and the Wii. And even for my Nintendo Switch OLED that I have, I bought another Sonic game. And I've been with the Sonic the Hedgehog, video game series for a very, very long time. My favorite Sonic the Hedgehog video game is Sonic Adventure Battle 2. Another one that I really liked was Sonic Generations. I thought that was really, really good. Obviously, Sonic 06 is not good. I didn't like that one. Sonic Riders is one of my favorite ones, actually. Man, I've played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog games, and I will still continue to play them because they are awesome. Hopefully, I'll be able to get a Sonic X Shadow Generations very, very soon, and obviously, potentially stream that game for you guys. And as far as, Sonic X, I watched that, obviously. I didn't really like that series all that much, if I'm being honest here. I'm pretty sure that's an unpopular opinion. I didn't feel like it was all that good, but I did enjoy the theme song, actually. And I remember when they first announced for Paramount that they were going to be doing a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and as you guys know, the video game movie curse is definitely a thing. And it was more apparent when the ugly Sonic, trailer came out, right? So for those of you guys who don't know, for the first Sonic trailer, the Sonic design was ugly. It was very, very, very bad. And the backlash was so massive, the studio forced the company that made that Sonic design to redo it. They did go out of business, obviously. And then, it goes to show you right there that you as the fan have the power to make the company do what you potentially might want to. Now, there's going to be some good and bad cases for that, obviously. But this was a good response from the fans because the design wasn't good. And they obviously had to redesign, and the redesign looked way better, obviously. So I really, obviously, loved and respected the fans that rallied that hard behind it. I was one of them too on Twitter. I was like, man, this looks like complete shit. Back when I had my, my old Twitter account, actually, before that one got taken down because I was being apparently racist, right? Because I was just calling out bullshit on people back then, and apparently that's bad if you do that, even still to this day. If you call out bullshit on people, that's bad, right? Even though you're the one on the right. So Sonic the Hedgehog came out in 2020. It came out basically toward the beginning of that certain virus, and it came out when you had Fantasy Island in the movie theaters. I saw that at the time. That was not good. You had Birds of Prey, which was obviously really, really trash. I didn't watch it in theaters. Later on, I just watched it on what was at the time called HBO Max, and then I saw Sonic the Hedgehog for a watch party on my original YouTube channel before watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because I ended up watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2 at my movie theater 2 years ago, and I think the first movie is obviously really good. The second movie is obviously pretty good. There's the one part that people didn't like about the angry black lady flying off, but, then again, it's one of those things where if that's the only real problem the movie had, then the movie, I guess, did a pretty good job in everything else, honestly. And then you now have Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Shadow the Hedgehog is being voiced by Keanu Reeves. And, that was pretty decently surprising to me. But then the more I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, he'll probably end up doing a pretty good job. Now, if you're asking me personally, my own opinion, I think when it comes to video game characters such as like Mario and maybe you could say Sonic or Shadow and all that stuff, I think getting the original voice actor wouldn't be that bad of an idea, because we mostly recognize the character from their voice acting, right? But the studios don't see it that way. The studios see it basically off of like, hey, if this person isn't a big name, they can't put butts in seats. And that mentality might be changing with a lot of things very soon, because as you guys know, from the recent 2024 presidential election, movies star power as far as like movie actors, TV actors, musicians have not been very, very influential, as we know. And actually, at this point, is actually a detriment if one of the stars basically goes out there and just starts saying some bullshit, right? So for the first movie, obviously, I enjoyed the way they introduced Sonic, the whole fish out of water. Later on, accepting he's part of the family with what's called Pylord and the girlfriend. Obviously, I don't know why the girlfriend has to be black, but I guess whatever. Pairing a white guy with a black girl, it's like, oh my god, really? Interracial relationships in my Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Jim Carrey obviously did a great job. Ben Schwartz, who voices Sonic, did obviously a great job. James Marsden played a great character, obviously, in that movie as well. Transition over. What I really liked about the first movie is that usually with these kind of movies, the human interactions are just so more heavy-handed compared to what you're actually there to see. But I felt like they were really, really balanced out very good in the first movie. And in the second movie, you didn't really get that much James Marsden and the girl that he obviously dates in the movie, right? You didn't get a lot of that. It was there when it was needed, but it wasn't too heavy-handed. And that's what I really, really liked. Because for like other movie franchises, the humans, the creature that's there that you're there to see is an afterthought most of the time, give or take certain movies, right? And it's the humans that take center stage. What I liked with these movies was that they didn't do that. And with the second one, it was more apparent they wanted to give more screen time than they did in the previous movie to Sonic the Hedgehog. We got Knuckles, which is voiced by Idris Elba, and I forgot the lady that voices Tails. She did a great job, obviously, as well. The second movie, introducing Chaos Emeralds, Super Sonic. I'd imagine, I'm not spoiling this, but let's be honest here, Shadow is going to turn into Super Shadow. It's going to happen. If this movie's based around Sonic Adventure Battle 2, which we know it is, that's going to happen. Now, are they going to do the whole space colony arc thing? Probably not. You can't really do that in a whole movie. I don't think that's not going to be an aspect they're going to do, but I don't think the way you see it from Sonic Adventure Battle 2 is going to be that. And fun fact, Sonic Adventure Battle 2 is the very first appearance of Shadow the Hedgehog. He became just a complete fan favorite after that. The only thing for Sonic the Hedgehog that I never really got fully into is the comic books. Now, for those of you guys who know, I collect comic books, or you guys see in my room all the time, in my house all the time, right? I've currently been getting all of the trade paperbacks for the IDW Sonic the Hedgehog comic book series. I have 2 of the IDW oversized hardcover collections. I'll be getting the other 2 very, very soon, and I'll be basically reading and reviewing all of the Sonic the Hedgehog trade paperbacks from Volume 1 all the way to where it is current, and then obviously I can review the hardcovers because that's all the same shit, essentially, right? And I'll find out where it is and then do that one and then do the other one. But, overall, I really enjoyed Jim Carrey's performance from both movies, being Dr. Robotnik, Dr. Eggman. He was going to retire, but I guess they somehow convinced him to come back for this third one. It would only make sense he'd come back for this third one. Eggman is a pretty integral character to what Shadow the Hedgehog actually is. And as you guys know, for today and this weekend, to round off this year in 2024, Shadow the Hedgehog is actually going to be competing with Disney's Mufasa Lion King prequel movie. And let's be completely honest here, Sonic the Hedgehog is going to absolutely just curb stomp Mufasa and Kraven. Because Kraven the Hunter came out, that completely bombed. And with 2 new blockbusters coming out right afterwards, it's not going to be good for Kraven the Hunter at all. And other movies like Gladiator 2 and Moana 2 and Wicked, they've already been at the box office for a little bit of time. They're about to be cycled out anyway, but I imagine they'd leave them in the movie theaters until the new year starts, actually. The other thing I want to bring up really, really quickly is you guys haven't seen me do this kind of episode in the series ever since Joker 2. I know I told you guys I was going to go see Venom 3 and Red 1 in theaters. I'm sorry I couldn't keep that as a thing I told you guys because I just got very, very busy. But I will say this, as some good news, into 2025, I'm going to try and obviously do this a whole lot more, because going into 2025, I've mentioned this before, I'm going to be basically putting out content in a much more shorter time frame and a lot more consistent, you know? So the motto I have for 2025 is consistent content in a shorter time frame, whether that be news based off all the things that I cover. So like let's say I'm off on a day, news comes out, do the video, I cover it, I put the video out. If I'm working that day, come home, do the video, get it done. No more waiting around for it, you know? We have to get things done in a consistent manner. I've been working on stuff behind the scenes. You guys will see me obviously tackle more movie content very, very soon. I don't know if I'm going to make it MSK show episodes when I do it, or if I just do it pre-recorded. I don't know yet. I'm kind of seeing where I'm going to do with that, you know, currently. Leaning more towards doing it live and then just clipping it out like you guys are accustomed to. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. Oh, also keep in mind, for this movie, there's going to be multiple post-credit scenes, so stay for all of them. I would imagine they introduce Amy. I'm not too shocked if they do that. I just don't know what else they're going to end up doing, you know? Because the Sonic the Hedgehog world, because I guess you could say Shadow was the character they've been building up to for a little bit, or a character that, not they've been building up to, so to speak. It's like everyone kind of knew at some point he would be the first character they'd introduce at some point, you know? They kind of had that with Tails and Knuckles for the second one, and now you'd be leading to this. And I remember when they unveiled Shadow, people just went crazy in the theater, obviously. So I'm really, really hyped to see where the direction of this movie universe goes. There's a lot you can do in the Sonic the Hedgehog world, and at this point, people probably you know, understand this. You probably think, oh, well, we're just scratching the surface here. Well, I would say so, but for a good amount of people, they probably think like, oh, you know, Shadow the Hedgehog's kind of where my end is at, and it's like, no, there's way more here. Obviously, you guys have not even been accustomed to the wide world of Sonic the Hedgehog, and you know, I will tackle this other aspect that a lot of people have been saying, which is the fact that they think that this movie series is for kids. It's for all ages, honestly. If you're an adult, you can enjoy these movies. And for someone like me, I've been a Sonic the Hedgehog fan my entire life. Like, it's just the thing that I have, you know? So, yeah, things can be catered to kids, but also be made in a way where adults can enjoy them too. I just don't get this stigma where like, if it's something is like deemed for kids, then adults apparently can't like it, or it's just considered like, oh, it's not that we're going to even talk about it to know if it's good or bad content, or it's just for kids. And it's like, well, that's just kind of stupid in my opinion, right? So that's my whole opinion on that. I'm going at the 7:30 showing. The movie, let me check right now. The reason why I was blocking my monitor over there is because the glare was so bad. Look at that glare. Oh, that's so bad. Give me one sec. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Right now they're telling me the runtime is about 1 hour and 49 minutes. So going at the 7:30 showing, you got like, what, 10, 15 minutes of previews. And then after that, movie starts, hour and 49 minutes. So we're looking at maybe, I'll be home like 9:30, 9:45. And then, you know, obviously, as you guys know, if you watch these video of this series in, you know, on the channel, come back, I'll do my spoiler-free movie review. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a open spoiler discussion on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I would love to do that, obviously. Hopefully, you know, I can get a panel together for that. I know Nate is seeing it from Nate, so if all else fails, then I could just do it with him. But yeah, going into 2025, I really want to do this series more consistently. I want to basically just really just hammer down consistency in a short time frame, get my ambition up and my drive up, because I've kind of been wavering at various points. Even on my comic channel, I don't upload as much as I want to, or even on the other YouTube channels that I want to start uploading on, I want to just put my head in the sand and just really go for it, like I did back in the day when you guys first discovered me. I didn't have that drive anymore. Even though you guys see it, I knew in my heart I didn't have that as much as I had it before. I still have it. I need to just push it more harder. I need to make things happen more often. And that's what I'm here to do. As far as like, you know, doing movie projects, I'm kind of working behind the scenes with someone about that. So that's going to be another thing you guys should be excited about. And there's a lot of things to be excited about coming up in 2025. I'm ready to just like really fully put my head in the sand and really get stuff done. I told people, if you're not going to be here for what I'm doing, goodbye. Time to stop focusing on people that don't want to be here anymore. We had a few people leave the show, and it's whatever. I don't care. I'll get new people. It's just how it works in life. Not everyone's going to be in your life forever. Some people are just only in your life temporary. So, yeah, in the next part of this episode, well, you guys who know this fucking stuff know what I do. So in the next part, I'll be at the movie theater, and then after that, after I watch the movie, I'll give my out of theater reaction, and then after that, come home and give my spoiler-free movie review for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So I'll see you guys when I'm at the movie theater. I am outside my movie theater right now. I'm about to go in and purchase my ticket for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I can't wait to watch this movie. I've been wanting to see this movie for quite some time. And it feels like just yesterday, this movie series just started back in 2020 with that ugly Sonic fucking, design they had. And then after that, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And then after that, now we're at this movie where Sonic is going to be facing Shadow, the fan favorite, voiced by Keanu Reeves. So, yeah, I'm super excited. Going to go in there probably after I get my ticket, maybe get some chili cheese nachos. I don't know what I'm going to eat afterwards. I usually get pretty hungry after watching the movie. It's so weird how you'll go in, get food, and you're hungry after the movie's over. I might just stop by the Jack in the Box up the street, probably get some food after that. So, yeah, after this, I'm going to give you guys my quick out-of-the-theater movie reaction for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. All right, see you guys in the next clip. I just got out of my movie theater watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Oh my God, that movie was really, really, really good. The best Sonic movie of the trilogy so far. Definitely stay for the multiple post-credit scenes. There's two of them. There's one after obviously the mid-credits roll, and then there's one at the very end when the credits finish. Overall, I love the direction this movie went. The voice actors for Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Keanu Reeves just knocked it out of the park as Shadow. The way that Tom and Maddie, those characters were utilized in this movie were great, actually. Jim Carrey's performance as Dr. Robotnik, still always top-notch, still pretty good. Obviously, you guys know he played his grandfather as well, still did a very good job as well. The pacing of the movie was really, really good. Movie's only about an hour and 49 minutes, roughly, right? So it started out just already getting into it. I know a lot of people were concerned with how they were going to do the emotional moments between Shadow and Maria. That's handled beautifully. The actress they casted for Maria to capture that was good. Yeah, man, had a blast. Easily for me, one of the best movies of 2024. This was my most highly anticipated movie to watch, and I was not disappointed. So after this, I'm going to be giving you guys my Sonic the Hedgehog 3 spoiler-free movie review. So see you guys in the next part. So I just got back from the movie theater after watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And now for the final part of the vlog, to end the vlog, I will be giving you guys my Sonic the Hedgehog 3 spoiler-free movie review. So as you guys know, as I mentioned this at the beginning part of the vlog, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was my most highly anticipated movie to watch for this year of 2024. I absolutely love the Sonic the Hedgehog, character and the video games and everything based around this character. And this movie series based around Sonic the Hedgehog has just been absolutely amazing when it began in 2020. And this movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, is no different. This is probably going to be the best movie out of the Sonic the Hedgehog film series so far, for me personally. And I know some of you guys out there are parents and you guys have kids, and you're probably wondering, can I take my kids to go see this movie? Just like with the previous two Sonic the Hedgehog movies, yes, you can. And actually, they even do the darker backstory of Sonic in a way where it's not super gruesome for the little ones at all. And you will be very happy with the product that you have been given if you are a parent and you already had them watch the first two previous Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Now, if you don't have kids and you're not a parent, if you already loved what you got out of the previous two Sonic the Hedgehog movies, then you will love what you got in this movie as well. So this movie actually has a runtime of only 1 hour and 49 minutes. I honestly thought I was going to be there a lot longer because, like, you guys know, when you go to the movie theaters to watch a movie, sometimes a movie will say like it's an hour and 30 minutes, but when you actually are sitting down and watching it, that runtime can kind of feel a little bloated to the point where like you're sitting there and you're watching and you're like, hey, this is only supposed to be an hour and 30 minutes and it feels like we've been sitting here, forever, because like movies can kind of drag on like that when it comes to like the plot and the pacing and all that stuff. So with this movie, I did not feel that way at all. The movie is paced very, very well. You already just get into the action, getting to understand who Shadow the Hedgehog is actually as a character. And then later on in the movie, his backstory is further and further revealed. And if you guys actually watch the two Sonic the Hedgehog 3 official trailers, pretty much the first scene of the movie is basically what you already saw in the first trailer. You basically have Sonic the Hedgehog, Knuckles, and Tails fighting Shadow the Hedgehog almost immediately within about the first act. I would give you like a good 5 minutes and you're already in the action. The only thing that I can kind of criticize for the movie before I go over everything else I liked about it was the score. I didn't feel like the score was actually that much better than the other movies, honestly. And that's kind of been the detriment to these movies. And that's probably the only thing that I could really criticize these movies on. And even this one kind of falls for that too. I thought it had been a lot different, obviously, here. But if you actually stay and watch the post-credit scenes, which you should, there's two post-credit scenes, one after when the credits start rolling, and then when the credits end. So stay for both post-credit scenes. You will not be disappointed. Also, they say in the credits that Escape from the City plays, but I didn't hear it. So maybe it had to do with like the sound mixing for the movie as far as like the copies that my movie theater got for it, because the score felt really off. It felt really loud at most cases. I just wasn't vibing with the score this time around. But to be fair, I'd never really vibed with the scores of any of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies anyway, because I feel like they always get hamstrung because they can't utilize the actual Sonic the Hedgehog video game music that a lot of people are accustomed to. But outside of that, it just kind of sucks that even on the third movie, it hasn't happened yet. So outside of that, the voice actor for Shadow the Hedgehog, which was Keanu Reeves, completely knocked it out of the park, did a fantastic job, actually. Jim Carrey is still very charismatic and entertaining as Dr. Robotnik, and obviously this is not a spoiler because you already saw it in the trailers. He portrays his long-lost grandfather, and he does a great job as that character as well. Who was Ben Schwartz voicing Sonic the Hedgehog was actually really, really good. Colleen O'Shaughnessy voicing Tails was awesome. And Idris Elba, who voices Knuckles, did a fantastic job. These guys are straight up just class act voice actors, and they really, really give you that great performance that you kind of envision to happen for these characters. Then I'll get to the human characters. So the character that James Marsden portrays, and I think what's her name, Tika Summers, portrays his wife, actually. So they are actually utilized way better in this movie than even the other ones, because it really does feel like at this point now with the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, things that are built up in the first one are carried over into the second one, and then the stuff that was built up in the second one gets carried over into the third movie, and the relationship with the characters have been built. They're really a family here in this movie, and there's a scene in the beginning part of the movie that directly ties to the third act of the movie. When you actually get to that, there's this really, really great scene between James Marsden's character and Sonic, and it's just absolutely amazing, super heartwarming. And I was watching this movie and I just had a smile on my face the entire time. I truly had a blast. It was a lot of it was carried between like the humorous moments were awesome. They were really wholesome. You could really get into it. The pacing was good, leveled out the movie very, very well. You didn't feel like they were just wasting any time with the movie at all. There is another thing that I probably could criticize, but that's the thing is you would only know this if you played Sonic Adventure Battle 2. So if you're coming in hoping that storyline gets pretty much touched, you are right. But there is something there that they didn't do, but I understand why they didn't, because they didn't want to have the runtime go any longer, and you pretty much got what you needed to out of that moment happening anyway. So the actress they choose to portray Maria in the movie did a fantastic job. When you finally do get the backstory of Shadow, it's really, really not just heartbreaking. It's super emotional. You really do understand where the character is coming from. Basically, without spoiling it, Sonic came to the world and he basically was that fish out of water, and then he was obviously loved by the people around him. Shadows is different, if you can kind of understand what I'm saying there. The action is really good. The special effects are still top notch for this movie as well. The ending of the second Sonic the Hedgehog movie, when he turned into Super Sonic, I'm pretty sure you guys expect him to do that here. He does do that, obviously, but I don't think that's a spoiler, because if you played Sonic Adventure Battle 2, you fully expect that. There was a fight at the end of the movie between Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog, and it was just, oh my god, just chef's kiss. Amazing, honestly. Really, really great fight choreography between the characters, and you really got this like grand scale battle between them, and it was just so awesome right there. Then what I also really enjoyed was that they actually utilized the human characters in a specific way where it didn't feel like they were just overlapping the plot and taking it over. The only movie in the franchise, which was the first one where they had the most impact, let's say, even that wasn't even bad because they were still entertaining overall. In this movie specifically, they're used even better, because I feel like in the second movie, Tom and Maddie weren't as utilized, and in this movie, basically their story is kind of ran its course, but not in a bad way, because the plot is able to figure out a way for them to be even more useful, and then coming from the first scene that Tom and Sonic have to where it ties into the third act of the movie, completely just amazing right there. And then by the time the movie's over, you're like, man, we've really reached 3 movies in this film series so far, and it just feels like it's a true progression each movie. It feels like Sonic is just learning something each movie. First movie, he had to basically learn that the power is his, that he has to get back from Eggman, and that he's the guy that's here to stay, and the people do like him. He can get accustomed to Earth. Second movie, kind of understanding the power of friendship and becoming a hero, and this is his moment. And in this movie, I'm not gonna spoil the theme of it, but there's a theme there that really is something that the character needed to go through, and I'm glad the character actually went through it. The only I would say media that I haven't watched from this movie series yet is the Knuckles TV series. So if you watch the Knuckles TV series, it does have a payoff in this movie. I didn't watch it, but I could easily tell what it was. It's not that complicated, obviously, So the acting from Jim Carrey and a lot of the other actors in the movie was actually pretty good. The only actress that I didn't think did a good job pretty much at all was the main lady that ran Gun. Honestly, I thought she was pretty just meh, honestly. But other than her, I overall enjoyed all the performances, actually. So, yeah, I can't wait for another Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Give me Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And after the post-credit scenes, oh my god. Man! We're just getting started, boys. We're so back. And I am all here for it. So, I'm going to try and make sure I do more of these in 2025. I can't give you an estimate on that, actually, because it really just depends on the week and the day and obviously my schedule at work. I'm going to try and watch as many movies as I can, because I know you guys like this series. It's just really hard to do sometimes given my time constraints between like the podcasts and obviously trying to get stuff done in 2025. But I'll try and do this video series more for you guys, especially when like it's a movie I really want to watch, obviously, because I can have this where I can talk about it and I can have that moment where I could just go over, movies basically before where the franchise is at and then go over the new one after it's over. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, one of the best movies for me of 2024. I would say go out to the theater and watch this movie. You have my recommendation. I don't know if people actually care about what I say as far as movies, but you can take your kids to see it. They're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time because this movie is an absolute certified banger. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and I'm signing out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace.